dream. One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces life, the Pisces life. Two fish living in a dream. One swimming up, one swimming downstream. The Pisces life, 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 the Pisces life.
Who can forget the good time we had covering the Essence Festival? Girl, we were so tired, but we had fun.
Yes.
And wasn't it what was the name of that drink? Everybody had one, and it was literally like in a cauldron type of thing, and they just scooping this stuff out and putting it in. And that's what everybody getting. Okay, then that's what we'll get. We'll take two of them.
Right, we'll take two of them. I'm trying to think, what was we drinking? It was some type of daiquiri.
It was a big one too, like a hurricane or the NOLA hurricane.
It was
it
the
NOLA hurricane?
Yes, it was a hurricane. You got it right, sis. That was it.
Oh my.
We couldn't have too many hurricanes because we had work to do,
and that we did.
New Orleans was so fun. Like that was just such a moment for the Pisces life. Just as we walk back down memory lane a little bit, we have always endeavored to be more than a podcast.
Yes.
We understood that podcasting was the kind of foundation that we could build things on top of, because we love getting on these microphones and sharing our little stories and point of views, and it's something very, cathartic, therapeutic, freeing to be able to do that and have, whoever's listening, tune in to see what we talking about. But it was really validating to get selected by Essence, with us being Black women and us doing a show from two different states.
Right.
And having to come together and create that content for them was just an amazing opportunity. And certainly Essence Fest is not happening in 2020 because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
But next year they're going to be back, I'm sure, bigger and better than ever.
Right.
And
everybody gonna try and be there.
Maybe the Pisces life can make a return.
Hey, we would love to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was such a memorable time. I thought about us strolling down memory lane a little bit too. The, opportunities that we took to bring great content. We were right in the mix with who was who. We were right in the mix with making sure that was the year that we met Ava DuVernay. She had just previewed Selma. It was not out yet, but it was coming out. Empire had finished their first season. And so they were, riding high on the fame of that. They were there that year. Kevin Hart filmed his special, remember? We were totally blocked out of that. K Hart run his stuff, okay? They run that stuff.
Wouldn't let none of us nosy press people up in there.
It was like absolutely no press.
What was the name of the show that was it WB or WGN? WB.
Oh,
with Jessie Smollett's sister,
yes.
Journey.
Underground. Yep, that was the year they were there too. Yep.
It was just amazing.
Real Housewives. We got questions.
Married to Medicine.
Yes, Married to Medicine had just came on out, so we had got questions with them. Claudia Jordan was on our HOA at that time. We got questions with her.
Iyanla.
Oh yes. Oh my God.
Iyanla was snatched, girl.
Snatched.
Too snatched, yes.
Snatched. She is still one person on this earth that if I ever get a chance to be hugged by her, it just looks like that hug it just does something on the inside of you, and maybe you're not quite sure what it is, but you'll get it like in your special place. Yes. That revelation will be revealed. She just has that ability. When I've watched her show, and certainly when we got a chance to see her in person. And remember when dude blocked my shot and Common was like, and was like, let her get the shot, dude.
Yes.
With your big old tall self, get out of here. You know I'm just looking at 5'6" in the eye barely.
And because you come from that kind of investigatory space, journalism and such, that was one of the things that had always made me shy away from like traditional journalism, because you've seen the reporters running to get the interview, or the cameraman they're running with the cameraman to get the shot or get the video. And that type of spirit, I mean, we experienced some of that up in the Essence press room, because I, honestly speaking, I had never been in a press room before. And so I didn't really kind of understand like what you do, what you don't do, whatever. I really look to you, sis, to tell me, sit over here. Let's stand over here. Okay, I'm gonna be over here, but I'm gonna need you to be over here so we can get two different shots and we can merge them. Like, you were very instrumental in teaching me kind of what that space looks like. But once the stars were coming on the stages and everything, people got mad aggressive.
It was so interesting. Remember the whole pit? Credentials. I mean, baby, they were literally throwing people out of the pit and yanking your credentials for your press, and you were blackballed immediately.
Yes.
They did not play. The way Essence Fest ran that press room, it was a very serious situation, and they let you know, listen, now your credentials specify the place you are to be. And if you were not in that place and you were found elsewhere, the credentials you had were all gone. So now you've become a participant instead of credentialed press.
Exactly.
And you certainly wasn't getting nothing as a participant.
Exactly, because them tickets had been sold out. So if you didn't have tickets to get in, you could only go to the free events. And just even walking through the hall with all of the vendors.
Walmart set it out, didn't they? Walmart was the big one that year. And who was the big makeup one? Oh my gosh, I can't think of.
It wasn't MAC, and it wasn't Fashion Fair either. It was somebody else.
Was it Mazzani?
Mazzani,
That's who it was. It was Mazzani. Gosh.
I love Mazzani's gold lipstick, girlfriend.
Baby, me too. And I love their press powder, that little bronzer. See, people be thinking now, I'm going to let you in, Pisces listeners and my sis. In the summer, when my skin gets kissed by the sun, when the wide world is open, I use that bronzer and it takes up my tan. It does something, sis. It does something. It
turns you into the magical goddess that you are. Sometimes you just need a sprinkle of a little bronzer to get you together.
To get you together.
Yes. A good press powder is necessary.
It is.
As people, especially like, and I don't know, Letitia, if your mom was like my mom. My mom wore foundation because she had a bruise on her face, but she never wore like eyeliner or mascara. She never wore lipstick. She just corrected her skin complexion and put some Vaseline on it. Old school. So she never taught me like how to use eyeliner or like most of that stuff I either learned from peers, and then most recently, probably in the last 2 years, I fell down the YouTube video hole of makeup artists, Jackie Aina, and the rest. And that's how I have been practicing my makeup, and I've lost my mind. I can't go nowhere that got makeup and don't leave about it and wear a tube
of something,
a brush, a spray, a palette, if you will.
Oh man,
I am in love with makeup. It is just, it brings me such great joy. It is fun.
I love getting my makeup professionally done. That is one thing. Ladies, if you're listening to me, and gentlemen too, if you're listening, this is a nice gift and a treat for your lady. Turn date night all the way up. Find a makeup artist and let your girl, your boo, get her makeup professionally done.
Mm-hmm.
I love getting my makeup done. I've utilized 2 artists. One is Faith, who is out of Flint, Michigan. And then the other one is Letitia. I've used her once as well here in the Lansing area.
Okay.
And so it is a wonderful treat to see your face all glammed up and contoured and lips all together and whatnot. I mean, it is a wonderful self-esteem boost even. And like you, sis, I fell down the YouTube trap. I said, I got everything that these YouTube people got. I mean, I looked at the list of stuff to go get. I got it exactly. I'm slowing the video down where she talking and moving slow so I can see how she girl, I still look like somebody's child helped me, especially about the eyes. And I got a lot of eye palette to work with. That's what both of the makeup artists told me. They like, you got a lot of palette to work with on the eyes, not a lid. These big old eyes, girl.
It's about the blending.
It is.
And it's about the brush.
It is. See, I was using Q-tips.
I was about to say, I too love me a good Q-tip, but learned that in the makeup application, that a brush is a good tool to have and to use.
Yes, they make stuff for that. Who knew?
All types of crease brushes, feather brushes, flat angled brushes. It's just
the hard line brush to get your smoky eye together.
You better talk about the smoky eye, sis.
Girl,
I love me a smoky eye. They always try to say that smoky eyes are only for the evening.
No, that's not true. I wears mine day round.
I need to have a smoky eye. Look, if at 6 a.m. I want to smoke you out,
I'm going to smoke that eye.
You going to get it. Accept it. Embrace it.
Girl.
Well, girl, I guess we should go ahead and get the show started. I mean.
Well, if you are tuning in now, by now, you know where you are.
Come on.
You are swimming in the deepest waters, okay? Welcome to the 126th episode of the Pisces Life podcast. I am just Letitia, one of the 2 Pisces hosting this show, and on the other mic, my Pisces sis swimming around.
It is in crystal blue water on this beautiful Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers in the world.
Hey, fathers.
We love you.
Happy holiday, we do.
For us being daddy's girls, we love this holiday and to honor all of the wonderful men who have stood in the gap.
Yes.
Standing up and helping to raise the next generations of children because we need them to help us in retirement. Me and Letitia got plans.
Amen.
So we require your children to be right. So
yes, we do. I don't want nobody knocking me in my head at 99.
No, don't do it. We don't want that. So thank y'all for y'all service.
Yes.
And we hope that you are somewhere smiling and feeling the love of all the love and guidance and wisdom and structure and laughs that you provide to those in your lives.
Absolutely. Well said and ditto.
Yay.
Oh my goodness, girl. It's so much going on.
So much going on in the news, sis.
So much. So we've got to give you these few nuggets. If you haven't had a chance yet, please go by our various social media pages. We're on SoundCloud, Facebook, we're on the Instagram, all of those different spaces, Twitter. But check out our show, Current Flow. That's where we've been doing special topics and coverage of things that are not the norm. But this time, we had to bring COVID-19, a little bit of news into this for you. Listen, folks, this is serious out here.
Mm-hmm.
This is serious. Please make sure that you're in the house and staying safe. Know what is allowed. Know what phase, wherever you're listening to us from, know what your state, your city, your respective local area, know what the rules are. And I'm sharing this information because I care. A lot of cities have curfews still. We've had the disruption as well, or the additional disruption to life as we know it with the protest, and we're not taking that anymore. We are in the streets.
Yes.
We are writing letters. We are making phone calls, and we are making some progress.
Mm-hmm.
We really are, and we'll get to those things in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to encourage you to be very diligent. We are still dealing with COVID-19. I have some information to share with you as of the time of this recording. In Florida, in Orlando Airport, 260 TSA agents tested positive for COVID-19 the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Florida reported a record one-day total of over 4,000 positive COVID-19 cases, okay? Michigan cases have seen a slight rise in numbers in area outside of Detroit, and the stay-at-home order here has been expanded until the middle of July. When we look at the numbers for Chicago, Chicago is seeing a slight increase as well.
Absolutely. At the time of this recording of the podcast, 700 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported. Some 25,000 plus tests have been conducted in the last 48 to 72 hours. It's a lot happening, and some have, their conspiracy theories about why it's all happening now. And to me, I guess, I just would rather weigh on the side of caution than testing to determine if the ideology is inaccurate.
Yes.
We encourage you to be vigilant and to be careful.
Yes.
Protect yourselves and others. Wear your mask in public and keep your business essential. I know the weather is beautiful. My goodness, it is gorgeous outside. It's warm. You miss your friends. You miss your family. You miss your colleagues. You miss your routines, your favorite restaurants, your bars, your summer activities, all of that. I get it. We've been in the house for a long time.
Yes.
But now is not the time to do or be extra.
Yes.
As some of the Pisces Life listeners know, and maybe others don't know, I do a lot of work in Europe. And we know that outside of China, Wuhan, where the coronavirus initiated, the next hotspot was Italy.
Yes.
I work in a lot of the countries that are right next to Italy, some sharing even the border space with Italy. Although they are back open too, in a lot of ways, some more open than others, they are seeing a significant resurgence in their numbers. In North Macedonia, they've seen double the number of deaths that they reported earlier when we first went in March and April.
Wow.
In Bosnia and Herzegovina, there is a hotspot that's been identified, and their death numbers are rising in an alarming rate, not in these kind of 3 months on a ventilator rate that we've been reporting here, but like showing up on Sunday, not feeling well, and dying on Thursday. So the second wave is already, I believe, upon us. It just hasn't crossed the shores just yet, since we were a little later in our response when things popped up in Seattle. So I'm just saying, I understand summer is here, but I want y'all around for a good long time.
Yes.
So please, just be careful. Please exercise caution. And if you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for the people you love.
Yes.
Do it for people like me. Baby, I got things to do. So I need y'all to be right so that I can get to do those things. And if I'm doing my part, I'm just hopeful that you doing your part too.
Agreed. Some other news that we need to make sure that we keep you up on and keep you informed. And again, this relates to your overall safety. We are fighting two pandemics. We have the pandemic of COVID-19. Again, wear your mask, wash your hands frequently. If you have gloves, wear those as well. But we're also fighting the pandemic of racism. We are on the very verge of real serious social change. And every time there's been a major shift, there's been bloodshed. Every time there's been unrest. Every time history has shown us these things.
Yes.
But this is the first time that we are fighting the pandemic and on the verge of a type of change in this civil unrest type of way. So in the last week, 7 days, almost exactly by the time you hear this podcast, there have been 5 people who have been lynched. 5.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them were women, 2 men, lynched.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on. I don't understand it, but something ain't right. 2 of those deaths, one was reopened as an actual homicide because it was originally declared that it was suicide.
Mm-hmm.
That is the new, as the young folks say. That's the new.
Right.
Somebody comes up dead and they Black, and they want to say that this person committed suicide. That is not the case. We want to remind you that there are lots of resources out there that are community based. We have given you resources for mental health professionals, etc. It is not easy to deal with the trauma in these public ways.
Mm-hmm.
It is not easy to have your concern about your safety, the safety of those you love, your children, your husbands, partners, spouses, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It is not easy, but we need you to be vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
It's time more than ever to check in on somebody and be diligent about where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
The other day, I had 3 errands to run, and before I left, I just texted one of my friends and I said, hey, I'm going to this store and I'm going to go over to this place, and then I'm going to drop this off over here, and then I should be back home around such and such.
Mm.
Well, I got waylaid and distracted and was an hour behind. And one of the areas that I said I was going to be in, there was some tension that had jumped off.
Mm-hmm.
My friend was panicked. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm over at such and such area. And it's like, so you're not by such and such? I'm like, no, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, don't go back over that area. It's we need to be vigilant with our safety. I know folks, though, I don't like telling folks where I'm at all the time either. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
But right about now, especially if you're by yourself, going out at late, those types of things, just be vigilant. Be vigilant.
Mm-hmm.
We've also celebrated Juneteenth.
Yes.
During this month. And it's just been a reminder. The first time I ever heard about Juneteenth, I was in my 20s. I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working at the Memphis Commercial Appeal newspaper down in Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Juneteenth weekend, and there were tons of events and things to do. And so we divided and conquered the list, and that was my first exposure. I got a chance to go to the infamous Civil Rights Museum, the Lorraine Motel.
Mm-hmm.
Got an opportunity to go to a storytelling festival at one of the parks. I got a chance to go to a celebration of the Negro Baseball League. Rich history, and there were still some people living that were in the Negro League that were living right there in Memphis, Tennessee. So we have so much legacy.
Yes.
Of resilience.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much legacy of, yes, rebellion, if that's what you want to call it, okay? The truth of the matter is we gonna be free and remain free in this day and year of our very Lord. You understand?
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you talked about Juneteenth. I was talking
Mm-hmm.
to some of my white colleagues
Mm-hmm.
who, felt very excited that they were going to be establishing some new norms in their businesses where they
Mm-hmm.
were going to make Juneteenth a, holiday if you wanted to take it. And so they were feeling very good about their decisions. And certainly, I think that anybody who is intentionally considering the ramifications of
Mm-hmm.
slavery and how it has uh, been pervasive in the institutionalizing of Black poverty and jail and prison reform and police killings and all of those things. So any small feats that we
Mm-hmm.
can acknowledge, we should. But the thing that I wanted to break down to them was the lack of information that is available to and for Black people.
Mm.
Juneteenth and the reason why they celebrated it as a Freedom Day is
Yes.
because years after the Northern Blacks had been freed,
Mm-hmm.
the Southern Blacks had gotten the news, and that they had been free for years and just didn't know it.
Years.
Years.
Mm-mm.
The lack of education, the lack of knowledge, the lack of information that is available to Black people that has been designed intentionally and pervasively instituted in this country is there's no more relevant example than Juneteenth.
No
And
more.
if you apply what has happened to why we celebrate Juneteenth and those poor Black people
Mm.
who were subject to maintaining the status
Mm-hmm.
of slavery and how they were economically behind,
Mm.
educationally behind, health-wise behind, because the slave masters wasn't letting them get no HMO. So
No.
so it is the constant reminder of how far behind Black people are in this society and
Mm-hmm.
how there has been people in positions of power who have placed policy and have advocated actively and openly against Black people being able to move forward, that we've been
Mm-hmm.
kept in such places and spaces as a control mechanism, disconnected from our true history, our stories kept out of history books as if we had no parts in the creation of this world.
Mm.
They're on the Blackish version of their Juneteenth episode. They did a
Yes.
song called, We Built This.
Yes.
How is it that we built this country, yet there are people who see us as invisible? And I don't know if
Mm.
people understand that invisible people can't do labor. Invisible people can't bear your children and nurse them and take care. We were real people, real faces, real hearts, real souls. And they treated us and continue to treat us, depending upon what area you're in and what environment you're in, poorly.
Yes.
And I just want to remind people that it is that lack of information, that disconnection, that disenfranchisement of Black people in current society that keeps us where we are. So it's beautiful that people are, it's Juneteenth Day at the job. It's beautiful that there are companies who are, finally getting rid of their racist symbolisms on their products.
Yes.
It's beautiful that we have investment. There's dollars that are being redirected towards Black businesses and all the rest of that. But if we as Black people are not aware of the information and
Mm-hmm.
how to maintain these resources and such that are coming our way, we are going to fail. So we have to study ourselves approved so that we
Yes.
can continue moving forward in this moment. So one of the things that I am going to be doing in my family foundation is trying to help to eliminate the information gap.
Yes.
Because what we cannot happen is a return to where we were.
Mm-mm.
And if we're not careful, it will happen again.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing, let me step down off my soapbox until the second step. I understand that a lot of this unrest, this focus on civil and social justice
Mm-hmm.
came as a result of the killing of George Floyd. But in these conversations, we still forget about our sisters.
Yes, we do.
We don't talk about Sister Breonna Taylor.
Mm-mm.
We just had a sister down in Florida who was part of the Black Lives Matter movement. Her name is Alawatoyin Salu. She was 19 years old. And from what I understand, they just recently arrested her killer.
Yes.
We here at the Pisces Life, part of our mission and even establishing this platform was to highlight the Black woman's voice that oftentimes is pushed into the quiet space, that angry Black woman moniker that people love to put on Black women to keep them silent and take their power. We presented the Pisces Life as a way to show that we can be powerful and sassy and funny and concerned and devastated and full of grief and still rise again. And that no one has a right to make us feel poorly because we are experiencing the diversity of emotions and feelings, and that we have a diversity of skills and talents. Like you
Yes.
won't shame us into a corner for being quiet. So what Letitia and I talked about offline is our desire to do a celebration of life for the sisters who have fallen to violence at the hands of the police or other people. We are tired of us sisters being an afterthought or a sideline to the main news of Black men being killed or even being celebrated. We called out Timbaland and Swiss Beats for their lack of acknowledgement of women who could be in the verses, as if there's no monumental female talent that has impacted our culture throughout the generations. So we're going to plan something soon in the very near future, and hope that y'all, look out for that, listen to that, and share that along your way.
Yes, we're going to be creating a way for you as well to express some of your well wishes, or if you will, for the future of all of us too. Dear Black Women is something we had, be inspired by Jay Ivy, who was just on the show. He did Dear Black Father, Dear Fathers. Woo, Lord have mercy. Well, listen, sis, I know this first top of the show was a little heavy there. We got heavy in the middle, but we wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't bring up these very important issues to you. But there is something else that is happening in this world. Okay. It is Black Music Month.
It is certainly Black Music Month.
We talked last show about this movement needing an anthem, and I took the time, sis, this week to listen to the radio, see what was out there and what was going on. We still got the Stallion remix. That ain't it. Like the song, the beat, whatever, but that ain't the anthem. Let me see here. Some new music that got dropped. One of them babies dropped some music. Young Guns, Young Hot, no Hot and Young, no Young Thug
Flaming
and
Hot.
Right.
Hot Crunchy Curl Baby.
Right.
Something. Yeah. But you know the Queen released something.
Who?
Beyonce released a new song called Black Parade.
Black Parade.
To support Black-owned businesses.
Nice.
So Black Parade is out there and it's doing its thing. But you know what I've been listening to? I went retro on us. Because certainly the newer music has a space. It's boppy, you know? It's toe tappish.
I don't think the music on this, you know, they don't really want you tapping your toes, sis. They got something else in mind.
But I have been listening to Nina Simone, and we talked about her last week when our guest had referenced her, you know, Strange Fruit.
Yes.
But I have really been just in that space. But since it's Black Music Month, we thought, Pisces Life listeners, that we should play a little game, because there was an article that came out on ratedrnb.com that gave us 25 facts about the best R&B album award. And so we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
And we'll alternate with each other, and let's see if we know the answers. Are you ready, sis?
I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm getting all my thinking cap on, you know.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so here's the first question. Some might say that this artist is the Susan Lucci of the best R&B album and award category. This artist is the most nominated in this category, but has yet to win an award.
Oh boy.
Is it A, Mariah Carey, B, Letitia, C, Alicia Keys, or D, Janet Jackson?
Oh boy. Let me see. I know it's not Mariah Carey because she's won several awards. Alicia, I'm going to say Alicia Keys, C. I'm going to say C simply because I don't think that she's won a lot of awards. Definitely not the best R&B album, because she tends to be in the pop category, right?
Yeah.
Or contemporary. I don't know.
I agree with that. But sis, the answer is B, our sis Letitia.
Letitia?
Yes. In the morning. Yes. Letitia has been nominated 4 times, but has yet to win the award. Who knew?
Who knew? Because that first album, that was my jam.
Yes. Best Friend. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
Boom. Can't stop loving you. Ooh, I'm in love with my best friend. Yes. Come on, Letitia. She is amazing in concert too. Whew.
I would love to see her in concert when the world opened back up.
Yes, indeed. I saw her at the Cincinnati Music Fest. 2, 3, 4 years back.
Now that's a fun event. Cincinnati Music Fest, the Detroit Jazz Fest, those are fun events.
Yes. We got to get to them. I can't wait for the world to open up and it be beautifully safe. So we can get back to enjoying this good music. All right, sis. Next question is on you.
All right. Speaking of Detroit, this question, number 2, is about a Detroit artist. This artist is the only artist to ever win the R&B Best Album Award posthumously.
Okay.
They won the award once they were deceased.
Okay.
Was it A, Marvin Gaye, B, Aretha Franklin, our soror, C, Della Reese, or D, Aaliyah?
I in my spirit, spirit is saying it can't be Aretha Franklin because the white people loved her. and Marvin Gaye redid the national anthem and people was not feeling that.
They were
Although
mad.
on the urban charts, we was loving that.
Yes.
So I'm going to go with Marvin Gaye.
You are not correct, sis. Sorry. This one was a little tricky because I don't know if people actually expected this, but it was actually Detroit's own Aaliyah.
What?
She won the coveted category with her third self-titled album, Aaliyah, in 2002. So she took the category for Best R&B album.
Oh, was that the album that had Rock the Boat on it?
No.
Okay, here's your next question, sis.
Wait, I was wrong. That is the one that Rock the Boat was on. I apologize.
Oh, okay, great.
I apologize.
No worries. I love that song. That's one of my favorite Aaliyah songs.
Me too.
Loved it. Okay, sis, your question.
Okay, I'm ready.
What artist won the Best R&B Album category twice, but 15 years apart?
15 years apart?
Yes. Was it A, D'Angelo, B, Usher, C, Prince, or D, Chris Brown?
All right, let me see. Chris Brown had a single out every 2 or 3 days when he first came out.
He was like 11 and then he had like a song every 3 days, I thought. Yeah.
Right. And so I'm not going to go with him. The thing that's getting me is 15 years. I'm going to actually go with A, D'Angelo. I hope I'm right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because D'Angelo just like disappeared. He gave us that one good album with Cruising and Lady, You're My Lady, that is my jam. He gave us that and got quiet and went on. Now, was he in trouble? Is that why? Was he on a state mandated vacation?
I think he was getting some things together in his system.
Got ya.
And from what I understand, he's a little bit of a recluse and he's a little shy and like, you know, it takes a lot for him to give us the music. But you are right, sis. It is D'Angelo. He's the only artist to win the category twice. He had a long hiatus when he won the first time in 2001 with the album Voodoo, which I believe is James's favorite album. And he came back again in 2016 with Black Messiah for the win.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to see what's my favorite song off of Black Messiah because I'm a D'Angelo fan.
Yes.
Shout out to our sis, Kim Lehman in California. She too is a big D'Angelo fan. But on that Black Messiah album, there's a song called Another Life.
Another Life.
My favorite. It's one of my favorites. In another life. That's my favorite. But I have a bonus fact for you.
Oh, okay.
Babyface has the longest time between nominations in the category. First, he was nominated for the album The Day in 1998, and then he won the category as a duo with the living legend Toni Braxton for their album Love, Marriage, and Divorce.
Nice. That was a nice album.
That was a good girl.
That was a nice album. Toni Braxton and Babyface singing together was absolute magic.
It was amazing. And probably one of the funniest moments on the Babyface Teddy Riley verses is when Toni Braxton got on and then said, y'all hit me back when y'all start playing my songs.
Okay. How about that?
Somebody tell me to come back when it's time for me.
When it's my turn, because I don't have time for this. She is unavailable. She is unavailable for this verses until you get to my verse. Hello. Oh, sis, this game is pretty fun. All right, I like that bonus fact. All right.
Yes.
Question number 4. Are you ready? If you don't know this answer, girl, we might not be like two fishes like swimming around like we think now.
Okay. I'm focused. I am focused.
Okay, question number 4. This singer is the only person in the Grammy Academy to win the award for Best R&B Album and Best Contemporary Album.
Oh, I know who this is.
All right, now, okay, I'm going to see.
Mm-hmm.
A, was it Alicia Keys? B, was it Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan? Okay. Or C, was it Mariah Carey? Or D, was it, what's the 411 Mary J. Blige, y'all?
Okay.
Now, sis, I'm counting on you now.
Okay. I think, Okay. I'm going to go with, because I feel like I see the Grammy Award winning moment outfits in my head. So I'm going to go with our girl, Mary J. the Blige.
And you would be absolutely right. You knew that 411, sis.
Yes.
Mary J. Blige, she did that, y'all. Her album, The Breakthrough, in 2007, won the R&B Album of the Year category. And then her album, Growing Pains, won the 2009 Best Contemporary Album Award. She is the only artist to have that accomplishment at this time.
That is amazing. Go, Mary J.
Okay. Take your pain and make it purpose and put it on them charts.
You better believe that. Another one who gives a fantastic live show.
I believe it. I've never had a chance to see her, but I'd love to.
Sis.
It's everything.
It's everything. And I appreciate her work ethic. Yes. I have a story. In Chicago, we had a concert that it was at our outdoor venue, one of our outdoor venues, and it was raining that day. And Sister Letitia Luckett was the opening act. Now, this was back when Letitia had released her first single, when, post Destiny's Child. And it was a little bit, it was a bop. I liked it. But she was the opening act, which means she was going to do 3 songs and bounce. She refused to come out in the rain, Sister Luckett, as the other artist, and I can't remember who was after Letitia Luckett, but it was a male artist, and he too refused to come out in the rain. But you know who came out in the rain and extended her set to give us a 90-minute show? That would be one Meredith J.F. Bligeth, who said, I wasn't even supposed to be out here but about 35 minutes, but y'all sat out here for us. So I'm going to make sure you leave here feeling this. And when I tell you, she had on her thigh-high boots, her short shorts, her top, blonde bob wig in tow. And when I say she not only washed the rain away, but she made the sun come out on us, sister. Mary J. Blige, I'll never forget that moment when she was like, well, y'all paid y'all good money. And if you in the rain, I'm in the rain too. I said, well, sis, go off. Okay.
Now that's an artist right there that I can see. The last concert I went to was an outdoor old school concert, having Keith Sweat, who puts on a phenomenal show. Keith Sweat gonna give you the energy, his dances and all of that. He gonna whine the whole time. He does what he does. Kid and Play came out. That was quite nice. There were a few other artists, but those were the main ones that I remember. They put on a really good show.
Amazing.
I love live music. Ooh, I miss live music.
I miss it too. All right, sis, here's our final question.
Okay, final one. I'm ready.
Final question. Now, this here artist was not happy when their album was nominated in the category for Best R&B Album of the Year. They said, basically, this was my gospel album, and it was excluded from the gospel category altogether. I'm just going to stay home this year. I'm sick of work being done and people not being recognized for it. So who was salty about getting nominated for the Best R&B Album Award and didn't hold her tongue about it?
Lord.
Was it Shaka Khan,
Chicago's own.
Whitney, who always got something to say. Whitney Houston. Patti LaBelle.
Oh, Philly will get you together.
Quick. Or Aretha Franklin.
We don't play in the D.
Don't play in
the D.
We don't play in. So we have Shaka Khan from Chicago, Whitney Houston from New Jersey, Patti LaBelle from Philly, and Aretha Franklin from Detroit. All 4 cities of snatchery.
All 4 cities where it go. If you nuck, they gonna show enough buck. I mean, this question is tough right here because any one of them could have said, look, now, I'm staying home this year. I could just hear Shaka Khan, I wish I would.
With a fan going. Like,
okay.
I could see them all.
Whitney Houston, where's the receipts?
Exactly. You want me to do what now? Oh no. No. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm actually going to go with out of all of those ladies, this is a tough one because, okay, we just had Amazing Grace with Aretha. I'm going to go with Aretha Franklin. I'm going to go with Riri because she would be the one to stay home. She would stay home on you.
You saw what she did in her funeral. You know, she showed up at her funeral in several outfits. Like, you know,
you will wait
in line for this here moment. And certainly I could see her doing it. But sis, it was actually Whitney Houston.
Not Whit.
Whit chose to stay home in 1998 when The Preacher's Wife, the movie soundtrack, was nominated for the award. It was the first ever for a soundtrack to a movie. Another interesting fact is that The Preacher's Wife was noted and recognized as the best-selling gospel album upon and since its release.
Whoa.
And that was a good album. That's a good album.
It was a good album. It really was. Now I'm mad with the Grammys. She was not wrong about that. They really did put that in the wrong category.
I don't know what they was doing.
I wonder what was up in 1998 in the gospel category that they didn't want it in there.
Let's see what she was on. What the 1998 best gospel album category. Let's see.
This is hilarious, girl, because any one of them would have gave it to them. Said this was my gospel album.
I could see every single one of them having something else to say.
But Shaka Khan has never done a gospel album, has she?
I don't think so. And as evident at Riri funeral when she had to have the lyrics written on the back of the program. Did you see it? It tickled me so much. I said, Shaka. 1998 was a Lauryn Hill year.
Oh, wow. Lauryn Hill, man, she tore it up. Oh, the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that will forever be a classic.
It's just one of the best things that has ever came out. Okay, so a best rock gospel album? That's a category, Grammy?
Oh, wow.
Okay, best pop contemporary gospel album. The winner that year was Denise Williams.
Denise Williams?
Now here, wait a minute. The best traditional soul gospel album was Sissy Houston, her mama.
Oh, I'd have really stayed home. Grammys, 1998, y'all was off.
The best contemporary soul gospel album was Kirk Franklin, The New Nation Project.
Oh, well then, we understand now because Kirk came on in with the new generation and blew it all up. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
You know, it's good music though. I forgot all that happened in 98.
I know I did too. Well, if Kirk Franklin was out there, and I'm sorry, Whitney Houston, you know, The Preacher's Wife, it was a very good album. It really was. It's one of my favorite soundtracks. I like that and Boyz II Men for Christmas time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Their Christmas album, you know, as far as contemporary, I think it's a good one. Certainly Nat King Cole Christmas album is still my favorite. But Boyz II Men Christmas albums are pretty good.
They are. Hey, I've got a bonus fact for us before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Do you know, or let's remind our Pisces Life listeners, just how many Grammy winners and or nominees we have had the chance to interview for the Pisces Life. You remember our very first Grammy Award winner? He actually won.
That would be Malcolm Jamal Warner.
That's exactly right. For his song, was it Jesus? Jesus.
It was
something about Jesus.
Something about
Jesus.
Yes.
It was a wonderful a win for him. He had came from the acting world. Of course, we know him in that foray. And little did people know that while he was actually filming The Cosby Show, one of the things that he did to relax was self-taught and eventually took lessons, but learned how to play the bass. And so he formed a band, and Miles Long is the band. Go by his Instagram when you get a chance, Malcolm Jamal Warner. He is doing some amazing spoken word. He's a spoken word artist, and you get a chance to see him with a different hat on.
Absolutely. Oh, Jesus Children.
Jesus Children. Okay, I knew it was Jesus.
In 2014. Yes.
2014, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Grammy Award winner. All right, and we've also had a dynamic Grammy duo on our show. Sis, who was that?
I'm going to go with Foreign Exchange.
Hey, F.E.
Shout out to Nicolay and Fonte.
Hey, Nicolay and Fonte.
Yes.
That Fonte is something else. He makes me smile. That one song that they got, sun with the sundress.
What is the name of that song?
I call it sundress, but that ain't it. That ain't it at all. I call it sundress.
It's all right, because when you are our age, seasoned as we are, we can name these songs whatever we want to.
Right.
Y'all know.
Right. You know what I'm talking about.
This was good. This was a great way to end the show today.
Yes, absolutely. So, you know what? We've had another Grammy artist on recently, Jay Ivy.
Jay Ivy, he did win a Grammy.
Yes, he did, for spoken word.
Come on now, Pisces Life with the Grammys. Yes. I mean, Grammys, if you want to just, diversify your reporting of these stories.
Your coverage.
Come on, reach out to the Pisces Life. We got something special for you. We'll take your contract.
Yes, we will. We shall.
We shall.
Oh my God, this was good. Listen, enjoy Black Music Month. Enjoy it.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for listening, and thank you for riding with us. We are a relaunch show, and certainly are trying to get our numbers and listeners back up. So if you will, if I could ask one favor, if you enjoy our episodes, if you enjoyed only one episode, share that episode with your network and let people know that we are out here and doing our best to bring information, bring smiles, and keep your days going, especially in this double pandemic that we're dealing with. If you are looking to follow the show, and if you're here, you probably already know how, but just in case, you can send your comments, questions, or suggestions to thepisceslife@gmail.com. You can follow us on Facebook at The Pisces Life. You can follow us on Twitter at Pisces Podcast, 2 words, and you can follow us on Instagram at The Pisces Life Podcast. We are there and everywhere. Sis, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or the Gram, the Book, and Twitter.
Yes.
At I am just Letitia, Letitia. I've been getting those follower requests. Thank you so much. I enjoy that. And if you're looking for my sis, when she's not in the music studio working on her own music, you better get on Simper, on Curl Pattern right now. Download that.
Yes. Curl Pattern is out.
Get your head bopping.
Yes.
Get your head bopping.
Yes, the album Curl Pattern is certainly out, and it's everywhere you listen to music. But if you're looking for me specifically, you can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Kai Loves You, KAILOVESU. And I'm on Instagram at Kai Loves You too. Just add the number to that. And you can find me. We are out of here, y'all. Thank you for listening. Peace out.
Peace.